Hey there guys, it's Mallory from Hackley Public Library, and tonight we're going to be making our no-sew t-shirt tote bag. And remember, all that you're going to need for this craft are a t-shirt that you're not using anymore, that you don't mind turning into a tote bag, and then also a pair of scissors. And of course, it would be best if you have a pair of fabric scissors, but if you just have a regular pair, that will work. And so the first step that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to cut off our sleeves, these sleeves here. So the first thing that we're going to do is cut along the inside of the seam of our first sleeve. Now, if you do have scissors that are sharp enough, you could always fold your shirt in half and line up your sleeves to cut them both at the same time. But the scissors that I have are a little bit duller, so I'm going to do them individually. So I'm going to cut my first sleeve off right here, and remember, cutting along the inside of the seam. Okay, so now that I have my first sleeve cut off, I'm going to fold my t-shirt in half just to kind of line it up so I know where I need to start cutting my second sleeve. So I'm going to flip it over just like that. So you can see it's kind of lined up, and I'm going to cut right along that line to try to make it as even as possible. Okay, so now we have our sleeves cut off, so it's going to look like a tank top instead of a t-shirt. And so the next step that we're going to want to do is cut a large U shape around your neck. This is going to help to form the handles of the t-shirt tote bag. So again, kind of cutting a large U around the neck. So we're going to take our scissors again and start cutting. Okay, so now we have cut this portion of our shirt off so it looks more like this, more kind of like a tank top. And remember, these are going to be our handles for our tote bag. So the next thing that we're going to want to do is cut strips along the bottom of our shirt. And we're going to cut these strips about 3 to 4 inches up and about 1 inch apart. So just to give an example, we're going to start cutting our strip right about there so that it's about 1 inch across, and we're going to cut about this far up, and we're just going to keep cutting strips along the bottom of our t-shirt. Okay, so this is an example of what our strips are going to look like. See that? It's about 3 to 4 inches up and about 1 inch wide. And we're just going to keep doing that along the bottom of our shirt. Okay, so now we have our strips cut on our t-shirt for our tote bag. But you might notice at the very ends here, the strips, because they were at the very end with the corner, they are still one large piece as opposed to 2 strips. So I'm just going to take my scissors and just make a cut down the way to make it so that they are 2 strips like the rest of them, as opposed to 1 large strip. Okay, so now once again we have all of our strips complete at the bottom, and we are going to start tying. So we will start at one end, and we're going to tie our strips. So I'm going to start on this end over here. So the way that the strips are lined up, you're just going to tie a knot just like this. Okay, so now that we have our initial knots tied, you can see that there are still some gaps. See some gap holes between. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our strands, our strips, and take one strip from one knotted area and then another strip from another knotted area and then tie another knot just to help close up these empty spaces. See that? We're just going to continue doing that down the way. Okay, so once your second row of knots is complete, you can tie another double knot at the ends, each of the ends, just to reinforce it, to make sure that it's secure. So we'll do that as well. And so then you are done with your knotting. Now, some people do like to leave their bag with the fringe on the outside where everyone can see, or what you can do is turn it inside out to have this all hidden. So that it looks like this. So that you have all the fringe, all of the knotting on the inside where you can't see, and it looks a little bit more complete, a little bit more put together. And there you have your t-shirt transformed into a fun and cool tote bag. Thanks guys so much for joining me for this no-sew t-shirt tote bag craft. We hope you enjoyed it. If you were one of the registrants that was able to register and pick up an iron-on decal for the t-shirt tote bag, you're going to want to watch for the next video, which will be posted also on Hackley Library's Facebook page, so you can see how it works to iron on your decal onto your tote bag. Thanks again so much for joining us. Definitely be sure to look out for upcoming crafts in the future. Our next Adult Services Hackley Craft Online will be a fun ladybug flower pot. So definitely be sure to check our website, hackleylibrary.org, or Hackley Library's Facebook page for details on that, and also just for some of our other upcoming programs that we're going to be having. We're going to be having a really cool financial seminar tomorrow evening that's going to show you how to prepare for college financially. If you have loved ones that are going to be starting college soon, you're definitely going to want to have some information on that. So again, visit hackleylibrary.org or Hackley Library's Facebook page for details. Thanks so much.